Hey, what's good, guys? This is OT Sonic, and this is about to be a video on. Well, y'all probably see the title already, and you know what I do. No editing to the audio, no nothing, bro, cause we straight lazy out here. But I got my friend here with me. Yo, say your name.
Oh, it's me, OTO.
Damn.
We here to talk about some anime, man.
Oh, they fight back now?
And so yeah, we about to be talking about Shield Hero. And I just got some points to say just to get everyone hyped for season 2. And if you haven't already seen season 1, both are really good. Or well, I know season 2 about to be really good because I ain't even watched it yet. But the first thing I have on my list for why it's really good is how it's different from other isekais. Tyan Yuka started, and then I'll say, or I'll give my thoughts on it next. Why it's different from, or how it's different from other isekais.
In my opinion, it's different from other isekais and shit like that. Because one, Loki got it. Mostly all of his techniques and his power and shit, he earned it all up until a certain point when he just like can duplicate shit, but he earned the majority of stuff he has and shit like that. And also like the denizens of whatever world he get pushed into, they don't really fuck with him like that, so he also not getting help from the people really around in his world except for like a handful of people. If you want to count the slave trader and shit, but he's a slave trader, I think he's like a rat. So and also with the fact that he got isekai with other people, really. So yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about them later too. So yeah, that's all from me.
Yeah, I think also what makes it different is like, I mean, I'm pretty sure, or well, yeah, I know in other isekais niggas start from just the mud, like, but I feel like him, one, being betrayed, cause like you don't really see that a lot. I know some other people would probably say that you do, but from some of them that I've seen, most of them it's just niggas dying in the beginning, or just being brought to a different world by like some higher being or whatever.
Yeah, it was just a book for him for real. So like, yeah, also that too. He didn't die in any way, or just some, I guess, celestial brought him there.
Yeah, I like how in the beginning, like he was already hated or whatever. Like you couldn't really tell, but like he was, or you couldn't tell. And then like how he got framed or whatever for like raping one of the queens or the daughters of
one of the princesses.
Yeah, one of the princesses. Just because that's just some new shit like I've seen in anime or whatever, or in this anime that I just haven't seen before, and it was just, I don't know, it just felt kind of refreshing.
But like, I'm not like go back to the shit I was saying earlier. Like, it's not like he did like kind of start from the mud, kind of, but like it wasn't like he ain't had shit for real, because at the end of the day he did come into the world with like the fucking shield, and that shit made him kind of really capable, because it was like probably one of the strongest like weapons from out of all the heroes and shit. It just, he utilized it well, and also he's fucking alpha me, in my opinion. He was just like one of the smartest out the bunch, and the rest of them are just kind of like, I guess, average, like, I don't know, I guess, I don't know, the arrogant and shit, but like I guess he kind of, Naofumi still kind of, in my opinion, earned the shit that he gave.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to just lead into talking about the rest of the heroes, because the spear hero, that man is like the oldest out of all of them. I think they said he was like 21, but he acts the childish, like the most childish. And it's like, yo, what the
I'm not sure
fuck?
if people hear,
Yo,
but-
how does this man keep getting unmuted?
Jay.
What the hell, yo? This nigga doing magic, bro. Yo.
Necessarily, in my opinion. We still. What's up?
Yeah.
Alright, I was gonna say, in my opinion, I don't think he was really childish. To me, I think he was just like, I don't know, real gullible, and also on top of his arrogance and shit with the spear hero and shit. Like he got manipulated, maybe if not more than fucking Naofumi. Like, cause Naofumi, like, I guess at first Naofumi didn't really peep the shit until like he actually woke up and then he ain't have shit. So I guess, but he just still like, even now to when they prove that she does fuck shit, he still stands by the bitch. I just thought he's just gullible and arrogant. I don't think he's really childish in my opinion.
I think it's just hard for him to, like, well, he did see the truth because of the collar shit, or like the slave shit she had around here.
Yeah.
But like, it's just cause he's probably been with her for so long or whatever. He just didn't want to believe it or whatever. But another thing, like both the sword and the bow heroes, they are just like, I think they're in the same position as him, kind of. Just taking the word of her, like just straight up they didn't even like try to see if this man didn't do anything or whatever. They're just straight up taking her word and stuff like that, or like not even gonna try and trust him or whatever. Just because he has the shield, like, doesn't mean that this man is just out here being some fucking Viking or whatever, bro. Like, I didn't really get that. Or I did, but I guess that's what makes the story good, is because like everybody turned against him or whatever, and like he had no one to trust, stuff like that.
With them two, I think, like you said, I agree with you. Like, their case is kind of pretty similar to the spear hero and shit. But mostly with them, instead of like arrogance and gullibleness, like, I guess it would kind of like gullible because they were on like a high horse and shit, and then because they took that I'm the hero shit like to heart, and they were like I guess like gloated and almost like in a spot where their ego was like, with their ego where they like you couldn't really tell them shit unless you were like somebody like the king, until the queen came and shit like that. Especially when like they started like accomplishing deeds and shit, like with the bow hero when he had the rebellion with the rebels and shit, and then also with the sword hero when he thought he like actually like saved the whole fucking city when he killed that dragon and shit. Like, I just feel like the deed of the hero really like got to their heads with them.
Yeah, I think that they just all thought it was just like some type of game or whatever, that they just got transported to or whatever. And
yeah, it was like a type of game where they thought they were just like the highest on the fucking board.
Yeah, I like the fact that Naofumi like kind of proves to them, he does it like twice, I guess, where he just keeps saying like, it's not a game, like this is actually our lives or whatever, and like people are getting affected and dying and shit from this.
Right. So yeah, that's how I feel about him. But
yeah, I guess let's move on to world building, I guess. I like that there's just also in this, similar to slime, there's multiple races. I like that it's not just like one country or whatever. They actually do talk about like the whole world facing the waves. If you don't know, the waves are just like it's like monsters coming down from the sky or whatever, and just destroying villages and shit like that and killing people.
Yeah, it's not just one country; it's all the countries.
Yeah, just all over the world. And the shield hero and like the three other heroes are supposed to just help fight and save the world or whatever with their groups or whatever that they brought together. But for season 2, I hope to see that like Naofumi's like, what is it? His little land that he owns, cause at the end of season 1, spoiler, this man gets like a little plot of land or whatever.
Oh, well, wait, he now like he owns the city or the town or whatever that not Naofumi, that what's her name?
Ralph Talia.
What the Ralph Talia's people's from and shit, and I thought that was good. That's gonna be, for me, very interesting for the future of that anime. Just like last episode we was talking about with in slime and shit, like how the development of the world is going to contribute to or the development of what his city is about to become is going to develop the whole story and shit like that. I hope it's just going to be just like that, and that Shield Hero take from that just like in slime, because that shit's going to be interesting, and I hope they utilize it too. And especially with the world building shit, where just there's the other countries and shit, and the queen just wasn't governing over, the queen and the king just doesn't govern over one country. They also have another country that they govern, and that she just happened to govern the industrial side and shit like that, and her husband was in the more political and shit, town, normal village type country, and he was reigning over that shit. That shit was interesting. And also, not just in the world building, this doesn't consist of just the world that they're in. It actually brought in a whole nother universe where other heroes was from. Yeah. And they also had the fucking the fissures and shit like that. They also had the problems with the monsters and the waves and shit. And that, to be honest, to me, I didn't even expect that. I thought the Scythe hero, another spoiler, I thought the Scythe hero was just a hero from who got summoned from another whole side of the country, or the whole side of the world that I guess that the king and the king and queen didn't even know about and didn't associate with. That's what I thought it was gonna be. Because honestly, I thought it was just gonna be like an isekai, this is just this is just this world. It actually is just other worlds and other universes and shit, not just this little plot and shit. It's good to me. I like, and I didn't even expect the Scythe hero to be even cool with the fan bitch at first. That shit surprised me. Also, they did a decent job. I don't think it's as good as Slimes, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, I feel like they'll expand more on it in season 2. I hope to see Naofumi is just, since he's gonna be the face of demi-humans, I hope to see him working with more demi-humans, probably to have an army or whatever to fight against the other world and the waves.
Yeah.
I know, or not I know, but I didn't expect for there to also be another world with different heroes or whatever, and it seems a lot like Avengers Endgame or whatever, where a whole bunch of people are coming together to stop something, or not Endgame, but it seems like the Infinity Gauntlet story or whatever, where there's two worlds colliding, shit like that.
And the other shit that I wanted to touch on, that I don't know if many people watching Shield Hero even peep, but if you kind of pay enough attention to when the fan hero talks about their own universe and world and shit, I kind of like I didn't notice this until I finished and actually went back to rewatch the whole fight between our current heroes and the heroes we haven't even learned that much about. But I also like the fact that the different worlds and shit, or like the whatever, they also have that different theme. Like Naofumi's world that he got isekai into and shit, their world is like kind of medieval like and shit, like more like Arthurian and shit like that. And like the shit, the place that the fan hero is from, and the fan hero and the scythe hero, their world is real inspired by like Eastern culture, like Japanese and shit like that, and Chinese shit, basically.
Yeah,
I guess,
I noticed
with the
that too.
fans and shit. And if you even look closely in her flashback, it's like one of the soldiers are wearing like mix of like normal modern armor and like samurai armor. The shit was pretty. The shit was pretty cool if you peeped it. Like that's
Yeah.
I guess that's interesting for the future shit. That now that I think about it, that's going the world building even like might expand out farther than we actually might thought. That shit was hard, and I'm sorry to be dragging on, but I hope they expand more on like kind of monsters. The only monsters we've really seen is like the dragon and shit, and like Philo's people and shit, like the Philomias and shit. They were interesting also, but I hope it's like more monsters that come in the future, which it'll probably be.
Yeah, I hope to see more of that too, actually. But let's move on to the respect that he got back. Just everything that he gained, like near the end of Shield Hero Season 1. I like that he was actually pretty mature, that he didn't just straight up let the queen kill just the princess and the king. He was actually the bigger person. He didn't have to take revenge or whatever. Even though they did treat him like just shit and like humiliated him. Also tried to just kill the other princess and him. I like that the queen was gonna reward him for just everything he's done with taking down the Pope and just like the past shit of saving Melty, the other princess. But yeah, stuff like that.
With the shit with him earning his respect back, I guess in my opinion that's like they kind of did take the normal isekai route on it, because if it wasn't really for Melty and the queen, well, also the queen, like yo, I know we kind of passed world building and character development. The queen, that bitch was like, oh my god, she was a fucking thug in my opinion, yo. Like, she has to be one of the best characters in the anime in my opinion. But if it wasn't for Melty, the queen, and those soldiers who like didn't really fuck with the church like that, I think Naofumi would have still been shunned, especially with all the slave talk and shit, and how he treats Raftalia and shit, and also the fact that Philo looks like she is a fucking child, and she's also a slave. That also would have hindered him. But if it wasn't for the queen and Melty and the soldiers, that shit would have probably kept on happening, especially taking down the church and shit. But in the end, he still also got the respect back, and also it looks like he's gonna like probably help the demi-humans, and that's gonna probably gain him more respect and probably make normal humans kind of like not ostracize demi-humans like so much that they already do. It honestly, like this in my opinion, this man Naofumi got a good future kind of coming up in the anime.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying. The next thing we have here is how he matured, because in the beginning of the anime, this man was just like easily deceived. I like as the anime went on, he definitely just knew better, or like he started learning more how people are just snakes and just will trick you a lot in that world or whatever, because like it's happened like over and over. Like there was a point where they was at like the bar or whatever, and then a group went up to Naofumi and said, let us join your guild or whatever. And then like right after, these mans tried to like kill him and just take his money. I like that he actually, like, beforehand he already knew what their objective was, but he just wanted to see, like, and make sure. I like that he actually grew from all that. And also, but like it was just hard for him to like trust people like Raftalia, because she wasn't actually trying to trick him, or whatever. Same thing with Melty.
She really couldn't trick him, actually.
Yeah, same thing with Melty, the second princess. He couldn't really trust her either, because, or that's what he was thinking, because she was just royalty, but like not all of royalty was like the king and the first princess. Another thing about him maturing is that he didn't really mean to, but he had basically cleaned up after the other 3 heroes. And basically, I think out of all the other heroes, he just has the most sense, or that's just how it's coming across in the end.
Shit, I don't know what that was.
I don't know, it's kind of bugging out.
Yeah, like the party started lagging and some shit started happening. My fault though. But can we continue or
yeah.
My bad. Where do we leave off? His maturity, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I think with his maturity and shit like that, that was, I think it's like definitely like you were saying, like you made a good point. Like that was heavily attributed to him, like just like purely like his maturity basically just grew because he like got fucked over a bunch, and you can kind of like take this like also for life, like some shit really gotta happen to you for you to learn also, like, cause like once they're like, and I kind of respect him for when he matured, like that's some real shit. Like it'll happen to me once, the shit ain't gonna ever happen to me again, and I kind of fuck with that. Like when the fucking dumb queen or the dumb princess and shit fucked him over, like that was like the first straw was the last straw for him, and I kind of like that about Naofumi. He wasn't just gonna be a fucking push around, but he ain't also like an outlier, like he ain't the most like broken shit ever, but like this nigga just wasn't fucking with it.
Yeah, I like that he matured off the pain, and like that's very relatable, which is also good when it comes to anime, because you want people to relate to your shit. Yeah, I definitely agree.
I mean, it's not all, in my opinion, it's not all pros when it came to that shit. Like, it kind of did give him trust issues. He couldn't even trust people that was like, who didn't have a choice but to trust him because they were like slaves and shit. Because like he kind of thought if I did give her freedom and shit, like won't she just fuck me over anyway? And that's what he was kind of thinking. And you really, at the same time, you really can't blame him for it. But also like the trust issues was like kind of, at first it kind of seemed like it was gonna be problematic and it was gonna make him an asshole, but in the end it didn't, I guess. But I guess that's decent character development.
Yeah, I'm happy that he still took the hero route. Like, he didn't try to become a villain or whatever. Like, even though he does say, yeah, I don't want your thank yous, I just want the money. Like, you gotta understand that my man's Naofumi was literally in the mud. Like, he wasn't getting no money from the king. He had to do everything on his own from the beginning. Nobody helped him. like, so it's not that he was trying to be evil. It's just he gotta get money and food somehow, cause like thank yous ain't gonna feed him or keep him warm or just like give him XP to fight the other monsters and fight off monsters during the waves.
Yeah. Just like with the money thing, cause at first, like in my eyes, I thought it was gonna be like when he was like first started being like when he was like the malice and shit was just hitting him, and he just had a whole bunch of spite in him. He became what I thought at first he was gonna become one of those niggas who was just like, yeah, like fuck this shit. Like at this point, I want to do this shit and get out. I'm just here for the money, and that's it. Like I thought he was gonna become like greedy and corrupt and shit. Like he was gonna become one of those niggas like I only want the gold and I'm out. Like I'm doing. If you can't give me gold, like then fuck you. I thought he was gonna become like kind of like just a nomad or just like a fucking anti-hero, but I guess he kind of like his morality kind of reeled him back in and shit, and realized like he like it's kind of just like real life. You kind of come to realization that like everybody ain't gonna fuck you over, and there's only a certain couple niggas you're gonna be able to pick out the bunch who you can call like the fucking homies. You can only call a nigga. So that shit was like so relatable for me in my opinion that I was just like I could not fuck with it. Like that shit was hard. They did a good job making the main character a little relatable to the audience, and that's like all the nigga can ask for out of an anime.
Yeah. We about to wrap this up cause it's 27 minutes. So yeah, thank you for watching or listening. If you are watching, whoever watching this. Bye. We out.
Hey.